thank you so much. And in a way, I may continue what you have started. So we have not talked to each other before, but it looks like wonderful. So change management. When I started to think how to build that presentation, I thought I come with many examples and many numbers and everything. And then I thought, no, I'll do it completely differently. I will talk about the human being. What happens inside us when it's about to change? Because what happens inside us is exactly the same that happens within a team, a department, and an organization. I believe not only humans have a soul, I do believe organizations have a soul. And there are certain laws that apply to all of us. So it's more, not only because, of course, companies and factories are made of humans, that is obvious, but it's an energy, it's a certain energy, and I want to talk about an energy within us so that we understand the energy that keeps us going in our companies. We are talking so much about change, constant changes, and growth is not always happening within a change. What makes the difference? Why are there some individuals and some factories, some organizations then that succeed and others do not? What is the difference inside us? You all know that in some families a tragedy occurs, and some families can move on well and others are destroyed. So what makes the difference? That's something I want to talk about. So in our academy, we are mainly into business coaching of management, HR management, but not only, any management. And we derived from over 2,000 coaching sessions, we derived a 7-step program to future. So what is it really that carries individuals through that process of change? What makes individuals and as well organizations to embrace the future rather than to be fearful, just as you mentioned it? And it's interesting, I had the same question that Ashwata had. What makes us non-resilient? What is it? So resilience, we know, is the ability to recover from the past, but also to adjust to the future. And the change, the future can be digitization, smart factories, small changes like bonding employees, better recruitment, whatever it is. But what is it that makes us non-resilient? It's fear. I'm a therapist as well. I studied law, I got my MBA in the United States, I come from the industry, I come from high-ranking management positions. Meanwhile, I'm a therapist as well, because I really want to understand, and I'm still trying to understand the human individual. So it is fear that keeps us. And now, what is the role of HR and how can we overcome that fear? By the way, as HR people, it is us who have to overcome that fear first. Because we are role models in everything. We have heard it all morning long. It's about people. Technology, yes, has to be there, but it has to be adopted. It has to be meaningful. People have to be open and ready for it. So what is it that is seen to be dangerous? What is the fear within an individual or within an organization? What could you think of? Why do we not change easily? What could our fear be? Yes, we lose our jobs. Uncertainty, we don't know what will come. We don't know we will be able to handle it. That's going on within us. And of course, from an organizational point of view, it's a competition. We have heard about it all day long. Uncertainty about digitization, change of legal conditions, not enough competent people, feeling not prepared for the future. And this is where HR comes in. We have to prepare our people to be ready. But this means you have to be prepared first. When we have fear, and I'm sure you know that, the reactions are fight or flight or freeze. And the freezing part actually is what is happening in many industries and in many individuals. We know we should make a change, we know it's about time, and we are scared to death. We are paralyzed, we don't move. And you are the ones who have to get the company going, your people going, step by step. And I show you how, and we will do group work on that as well. So you will become active. Because it's very important for our subconscious to do the next step. It's about action. We know we should do something, just as my colleague said, we should do something, but to do the first step shows your subconscious, yes, we can do it. And we will start here today changing things. So these reactions that you see here are all short-term reactions. It's from our subconscious, it's here in our brainstem, a triggered reaction and an impulse to fight or flight or freeze. It's all short-term. So to overcome those short-term reactions, we have to think long-term. For example, by knowing the clock. The clock I will introduce to you, it's also called the team clock. It always ticks within a human, a team, a company, or an industry when something new is coming. I will show you. And working along that clock as a proactive and responsible HR team is how you can really keep it going and start the change. The clock, within a human, a team, a company, or an industry. It has 4 phases. So, the first phase is warming. It's a test phase. Something new is coming. You're wondering, what is it? I don't know. I'm scanning it. So there helps to gather information. What is it really? Making no assumption. Then the next thing that happens is storming. You always have a storming phase when something new is coming. Always. It's a law. It might be a short phase when you're experienced in dealing with change. It becomes shorter and shorter. But there's always within us a phase of storming, of doubt, of denial, of I cannot do it, I don't know how. This is normal. You have to know that as an HR person. You have to help your organization to overcome that storming phase. Then the norming starts. Norming meaning, okay, we will try it. We will install it. Let's see how it works. We will have training with good companies who can do it. Find our roles. Find our lines of command. Let's develop vision, mission with that new things, new change in mind. Let's have SOPs, code of conduct. Yes. Without norming and getting a company ready, you will not be able to overcome the storming phase. You will not. Norming is needed for our subconscious to feel safe and to overcome the fear. And that's when the performance starts. Performing is only possible when and if you go through all those phases. There's no way to go straight to performance. No way. You have to go through it. And as HR, you have to accompany to be at the side of your people throughout all those stages. And we will work along those stages. So, I've told you about the 7-step program to future, which we believe in our academy is really the essence that helps an organization to change, an individual as well. And HR has a crucial part in supporting those 4 steps. It all starts with the basics, which is the vision and mission and the brand essence, your unique selling proposition. You have to give your people a larger perspective. Yeah, where are we going? What are we doing? Why are we doing it? If people go out of bed in the morning just to earn their money, it's not enough. They need the bigger picture to contribute. Strengthen your strength. Yeah, optimize your own HR, your own recruitment. Get good people, your talent management. So many good examples were shown where IT can support you on that all along. Benefit from relationships. I feel that in many companies, and we are working globally, there's not enough teaming up. I mean, I know within OGTC, thanks God, you are connected, you are meeting on a regular basis. That's an exception. That is really very important. Share and talk to others. That makes it so much easier. Make sure you create a bonding and team trainings among your people. Have them talk to each other. Make them to get closer rather than having departments. Very important, build structures and rhythms you can rely on. Make sure you get SOPs for yourself first. Do you have good SOPs, good routine that rises your quality, and make sure you get more and more efficient and effective, and then you will transport it. You are role models. Yeah, on the one side it's easy to be a role model because you are the first one to do it. On the other side it's a responsibility. Yeah. The meeting culture. Then the clarity. That's something we hear all day long, and when you listened, I guess you did, to the lectures in the morning as well, it's about clarity, no illusions, no denial, monitoring. That's what IT does. Yeah, it helps us monitor and check what's really going on. Yeah. So, feedback to managers. That's clarity means power. Let's install feedback systems to the managers so that they learn how they can make work easier for their teams. We have installed it many times and it changed a lot. Get a moderator, train moderators internally and help them do those feedbacks. Be creative, be out of the box. Yeah. Use your right part of your brain. Who is left-handed here in this room? Is anyone left-handed? Very good, you are blessed. Left-handed people are blessed. I'm right-handed. But the left hand triggers the right part of your brain. So for those who are right-handed like me, I suggest very often you use your left hand. That way you get more creative and more out of the box, by the way. Because that's exactly what he said, is really to use both parts of the brain as much as possible with visualization and whatever methods you could think of. So be creative, encourage and reward ideas. Do you have an idea management? Brainstorm, learn how to brainstorm and to get more out of your people. That excites people, that makes them creative. Think out of the box rather than to stay in the status quo, as we just heard. Learn and improve. It's all about learning and improving. It's not about blaming. If something goes wrong, the question is, why did it go wrong? Let's learn. It's good that mistakes are happening. We heard in the morning that 40% of the projects fail. I even have numbers that 70% of projects fail. So that's not the problem. The problem is that we do not learn from it. Learning from what we have been doing is the essence, and you are the ones who help your organization to learn. So like me, when I go home this evening, I say, Anita, what was good? And I will hopefully remember what was good because I'm trying to get a holistic feedback from myself. And then I will say, what was not so good? What could I have done better? And then it's good. If a day was not your friend, a day was your teacher. That's wonderful. So we can learn every day. So actually, I find that very interesting. That's exactly what you were saying. So where are you now? Are you here? I won't do it. Are you at that stage? I can't do it. Oh, I want to do it. How do I do it? I'll try. I can do it. I will do it. Yes, I did. That's exactly what we have heard before, that it makes you feel good. It makes your people feel good. I did an exercise with some of my clients and myself, of course. I always do them with myself first. Whenever you have to do something, please try to find out on which stage you are. And very often you will be surprised we are somewhere down here. I recommend that you start with yourself first. Look at yourself first. Makes it so much easier to enable your people, because you know how good it feels to start to change and to be honest to yourself rather than blaming and pretending and keeping face. Those are no values that help us grow. Keeping our face keeps us small and little. Yeah, being honest to ourselves and other people make us grow. So this is the human resources flow, which you know probably more or less, and which you work along with. Thank you very much to all those who have answered the questionnaire. That was very interesting. So we sent you, Mr. Kessar sent you questions, and quite some of you have replied, and basically whatever is mentioned here has been depicted by you. So first it starts with a basis. Basis meaning you will have vision, mission, spirit of my company. Do you know what the spirit of your company is? What is it? So if you don't know it yet, make sure you will know it soon and your people will know it. Make sure the major, most senior positions are installed, the roles defined and clearly communicated. And one is, of course, human resources, public relations, marketing, whatever. The goal is always the same. Planning, finding, bonding, and growing of humans who contribute to the growth of my company. That's the goal throughout. And then you move on to recruitment. That's something that is clear to you. You need a needs assessment first. I find that very often the needs assessment is not done in depth enough. So what is really needed? What are the traits of success for my company? A while ago, I talked to a manager here in Delhi, as a matter of fact, and he said, some people succeed in my company and some do not succeed at all. They are leaving pretty fast. And then I asked him, what are the traits? Yeah, what are the traits of those people who stay longer and contribute and are successful? And I said, oh, that's an interesting question. We have never asked that. So that means when you go into recruitment, you have to make sure that you know what type of personality, what type of mindset, that's how you would express it, is necessary in our company. And this might differ from organization to organization. Okay, next one is, of course, the whole selection process. The multi-level screen. I believe in multi-level screening. It could be a structured interview, it could be, and many things could be done online as well, just as you said. Could be assignments to candidates. It could be assessment centers where you have a group of candidates together and you check how they interact and how they are. So you have a direct comparison. Do that. There should be many more small assessment centers where you bring your people together. And also something we have heard this morning, that way you make it special for them to enter your company. Yeah, it makes them feel special to be part of it, and loyalty will rise. So, and many other things are possible. I'm sure you're using some of those or many of those already. And then the induction or onboarding is coming. How do you welcome your people, your workers? Do they feel special? Do they feel that you are happy? You, I mean your company, that you relate to them? Do you have talks to them every few weeks to see how it's going, how they are feeling, what can be improved? Yes, we do it with managers sometimes, but with our workers usually we don't talk too much. You should. Yeah, mentors. Why don't you install mentors outside the team, not the supervisor? Maybe you have mentors not in this team, but in another team, that in case they want to talk about something, they can talk. So that makes them feel like in a family. That makes them stay in the company, be loyal. This is bonding. Yeah, this is bonding. Do team building. Make sure the communication flow is strong among the departments. Communication is where it starts, where it all starts. Define the meeting structure. Make sure you have SOPs for communication. Make structured talks with new employees and with all employees. Make it in a structured way, otherwise your managers will have problems what to say, what to ask. And always lessons learned. Yeah, under each one you find lessons learned. What could we do better? Why don't you install a monthly meeting? What could we do better? Without blame, without judgment, just where is the room for improvement? So talent management, what are the career plans? Can you open something? Can you offer something to your people? And then when someone leaves, are you talking to them? What happens as soon as someone is leaving a company? Either he or she retires or you had to let them go. What happens? Because they will tell you everything. So don't forget that opportunity. Okay. And then if you go along this and you think through what could be done, you might set priorities to specific areas which you find in your companies are needed most to get out of a daily business and start thinking strategically. Now we go to our group work. I would like you, I'm looking at how much time have we left? Perfect, it's just perfect. So I kindly ask you to get into our group work, and you will find at 8 tables, and wherever you find a white piece of paper, I ask you to gather there. Also those who have no white piece of paper, in a minute after I have finished explaining, I ask you to move to those tables. On each table, you will find one sheet, and I start here with basis, for example. It will be over there, and then along the basis, what has to be done before recruitment, you start thinking what could be done on Monday to start creating your base for a better HR and to prepare your people for change. And then we will have a second table, and the second table has the recruitment part, right? The recruitment, you will find it. So, and that's how we go on. Please, everybody gathers around the tables, and I will continue explaining you. Wherever you find a white paper, please come and gather around those tables. We have markers, we will work here. Please get up and gather around those tables, and you stand up. Don't sit. Please get up, everybody, and you gather around those tables now. Please, thank you. Information on your table, like basis. And then you find a sheet with possible actions. And then you find markers, and you will use those thick markers. Over here, which one do you have? Oh, you have for leaving. Ah, okay, I'm sorry. So you talk about for leaving, you start at the end. Okay, perfect. So whatever topic you have on your table, you start working at for 10 minutes, and we are free moderators with Shojita and Shailendra. We will support you. And at the end, I will ask you about the best idea you created on your table. What next step could you take on Monday? Okay, write down with the thick markers on the piece of paper, please. The base, where is the basis? Here. So, and we ask that table, what is your best idea? Please share your best idea, what you could do, what you could think of, maybe starting soon, maybe next week or whenever. when it comes to build a base to refer to. Please.
Yeah, so after discussing with our team, so the conclusion that we are arrived upon is like, first so we'll clarify what our vision and mission is, and then the important part is to communicate, discuss and identify with all employees to develop and define company's value and culture.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. That sounds good.
I think we are clear on this part.
Very clear.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks a lot, dear. Okay, now comes the recruitment. We have 2 recruitment tables. We start here.
The point given to us is recruitment, and the team feels that if on the weekend there was a vacancy created.
Wait a second. Could we please synergize a little bit? We are very curious to hear about recruitment. Hold the mic a little bit closer. Yes.
A vacancy created somewhere close to the weekend, and the Monday you have in your mind the justification of its profile, the mode, direct or indirect, or through reference or through apps or through agency, how do you plan to recruit? But something which will be on the top priority would be upgrading your available candidates. Do you have somebody in the grid? Do you already have somebody in the system who you feel that is a fit candidate? He can be given an opportunity to be upgraded. If this happens, then we have to scan the existing manpower, find out if there's one, screen, and then shortlist, and then the process starts.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is also an excellent way of bonding your people, because they know they can be empowered within, they can grow. People want to grow. Everybody wants to grow. So we are curious for your proposal.
To be honest, all of 3 are not HR people, but we tried. What we decided collectively that if we recruit someone on Mondays, we would just eliminate the traditional approach of group discussions. What many students and many freshers and many candidates afraid of that, what will happen if they go to the interviews and there will be very formal approach to them. They get nervous and they, despite being an eligible person, they cannot clear the interviews.
Exactly.
So we just wanted the industry to address this issue, that we should eliminate the traditional approach of formal interviews and make the group discussion more interactive and fun element in that. So this is the thing we have decided.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I like a lot that it's not difficult what you are saying. All these things can be done. So then it comes to selection, please. Yes.
Always adopt to change the right selection. The candidate, we always his mind that he adopts the change.
Very good. Very good. Thank you very much. This is crucial. Thank you. To have candidates with a right mindset. Yes.
Induction champion. Yes.
Induction, onboarding. Give us your best idea.
I think given all the points what we have jotted down, one of the points is very important, that is designing a feedback system for the new inductee so that the organization comes to know the effectiveness of the induction program. This is what I'll consider the best idea.
Yes. Thank you very much for that. Wonderful.
So that there are changes, like if there are any new changes which have to be inculcated, they can always be inculcated.
Please.
The feedback will make us enabled to know how good and effective was the induction and what all training or any changes or any inculcation which has to be brought in, so that further it can be improved. So it is an ongoing process rather.
Thank you so much. It's about learning. Also, as HR, we have to learn how could we do it better. Yes, wonderful. Thanks so much. Then we come to bonding, please. Please share.
With bonding increases the effective communication with the personal touch. See, basically what an employee wants is the recognition, and that comes with the effective communication. When you are going to person, saying hi, hello, a tap on the shoulder, it increases the bonding.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And you can start on Monday.
Yes.
Okay, talent management, please.
The skill matrix and the identification of competency. So on Monday, we'll identify the training needs department-wise, and after that, we will implement everything in the organization.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Perfect. That's a good stand. Okay, and finally we come to leaving. So please. Oops. Please tell us, what is your best idea?
Well, we gathered this a very important person who's leaving, and by his leaving, the organization is going to suffer a lot. So the first and foremost thing, after finding out as to what's making him leave, we try and find out if we address those concerns, will he stay? So the first thing what we do is try and hold him back, because a sudden abrupt departure and a very important person leaving can do a lot of damage to the company. So the first approach should be try and keep the guy. So, okay, you have these 9 concerns, we take care of all of them, or some of them. So give us time. So that's what I would do on Monday.
Thank you very much. Perfect.